Greenburgh Central School District community. I'd like to introduce you all to the 2017-2018 Draft 1 of our school budget. Presenting today will be our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum, Instruction, and Personnel, Dr. Ronald Valente, as well as our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Ms. Mary O'Neill. We decided to do something just a little bit different this year. For Draft 1, due to the inclement weather, we decided that we will present to you electronically. We hope that you will have an opportunity to view this video as often as you'd like, when you'd like, and where you'd like. We're also going to give you an opportunity to communicate with us virtually by going to our new email designed just for this presentation, budget2011718@greenburghcsd.org. We'll give you more information at the end of the presentation. We understand that the weather is, it's snowing outside. We do have inclement weather. We want our community to remain safe. And so we thought that this will be an interesting way to bring Budget 1 draft to you, the draft of Budget 1 presentation to you. Once again, you'll have an opportunity to communicate with us by going to budget2011718@greenburghcsd.org. Community, you can't imagine how thankful we are to you all for passing our budget by a 71% margin. For the past several years, we have maintained 70+ pass rate in our school district, and that is because you believe in the work that we're doing, and we know that we're working very, very hard to make sure that our students have the best education possible here at the Greenburgh Central School District. Not only did you pass our 2017 school budget by a very handsome margin, you also believed in our ability to use your money appropriately, respectfully, by passing our reserve fund by a 73% margin. We're going to speak to you a little bit about what we're doing with that money and how we're using it later on in our presentation. Last year, community, our theme was full steam ahead. You voted favorably for our school budget to allow us to enhance our STEAM offerings to our students. And once again, STEAM is an acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. With your approval, we were able to hire a new STEAM director who's brought amazing programs to our school district and giving our students wonderful hands-on opportunities. You'll learn more about those opportunities later in our presentation. And you've probably seen what our students have been doing through the Journal News as well as our Facebook and Twitter. So please continue to follow us and see what we're doing for STEAM. We were focused on STEAM last year because we realized that as a world-class school district, it is our obligation to prepare students for jobs that do not yet exist once they leave Woodlands High School. And we have been working diligently with your approval in doing just that. So I'm going to pass the microphone to Dr. Valente, who's going to share with you what's currently happening in the Greenburgh Central School District.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chase. Well, as you can see, we are an international baccalaureate school district. The innovation is right here, 9 to 12 IB diploma program. Currently, we're a K-8 IB school district. We are investigating with the intent for the 18-19 school year to actually have an IB diploma program at Woodlands High School. So watch this one. This is exciting and becomes the anchor for the International Baccalaureate district-wide. Obviously, Woodlands has been performing extremely well. When you look at graduation rate, region, state, or etc., we're amongst the top 100 high schools in New York State. We'll continue with our ACE Mentor program in collaboration with Westchester Community College. PLCs are a foundation of what we do in terms of professional learning communities who work very closely as groups of teachers focusing on content areas, discussing their efforts curriculum-wise, instructional-wise, etc. And the addition of lead teachers has really allowed that particular effort of PLC to grow and strengthen at the middle high school level. We would like to have Chrome devices for every student, 1-to-1, so that every student in our school district, and we've placed this in next year's budget, is going to have access to technology individualized technology, whether I'm in kindergarten or whether I'm a 12th grader ready to graduate. This is an enormous step forward and makes us digitally connected in a way we have not been before. The Wilson Reading Program, watch this one, because it's going to show growth in your ELA scores, and we will be working with students at a Tier 1 level, beginning in Jackson and Highview with Reading Foundations, Just Words at Bailey, moving into the middle high school with the programs we have there in reading, and also at Tier 2 and 3, intervening with small groups and individual students to help them leverage themselves so that all students will be at grade level in a 2 to 3 year plan that we have set. We also want to see this Wilson Reading Program in our summer enrichment program as well. Our SMART program, I think Dr. Chase, did you want to say a word about that?
We're very, very happy to have our community members as well as our mature adults come into our schools to help us with our literacy efforts. Here's what we mean. We will be matching students with mature adults and enhancing literacy instruction and their aptitude in the area of literacy. An adult will be assigned to one student at our early elementary grades. SMART is an acronym for Students and Mature Adults Reading Together, and we look forward to this program ballooning into something really amazing for our school district. And so we ask those who are our mature adults who are out there watching, if you would like to volunteer to come to our school district to enhance literacy instruction with our young students, please just give me a call or email me, and I will lead you in the right direction so that you will receive the proper training and so that you can work in our school district on a voluntary basis to support literacy instruction. But we've started the work, and we will continue the work throughout the rest of the school year, and we look forward to enhancing this program with our seniors as well as our young children in the 2017-2018 school year.
Thank you. Digital learning, we've said a word or two about that already, and we'll return to that later on in the conversation. Arts and athletics, of course, the district has a very strong commitment to the arts, and we're always looking for additional athletics to expand our reach. In fact, just yesterday it was mentioned to me, have we considered lacrosse for our students, or perhaps some of the other sports, that gymnastics that we are not currently conducting? And the short answer is yes. We would like to consider a broad range of opportunities for children. Princeton Review SAT Prep is currently in play right now this spring semester. We have 79 juniors who are studying every other day under a Princeton Review teacher during the school day, period 7, 8, and 9. And the purpose is very straightforward. We're looking to increase SAT verbal and math scores. We're looking to leverage students to the best colleges that they are able to achieve. And we're looking to level the playing field, because there are many school districts where families can very easily and readily afford this opportunity for students, and that's not always necessarily the case. So we're looking to give it to students during the school day and school year. Universal Design for Learning, UDL. Dr. Chase mentioned that earlier as being lesson planning in terms of allowing each child to have an opportunity using a variety of technologies and methods, as we're using a variety of technologies right now. Electronically, we're reaching you, you'll be reaching back to us with questions, etc. Are we using all of the available technologies to help children learn, and is that getting down into each classroom and into each lesson? We're in the first of a 2-year program, and we're very excited about it. Faculty is extremely turned on by it, and we had a wonderful parent session the other evening, and over 50 parents attended, and their response was, we want more of it. So UDL is well on its way here in Greenberg. Curriculum mapping, which was a major effort last year, continues this year in a slightly different way. To what degree is everyone using long-range curriculum maps, teacher maps, and resource maps? And we are monitoring that teacher by teacher, classroom by classroom, school by school, because that fits very much into the PLC model as well as the UDL model. So these are building blocks that will get students to perform more effectively. Dr. Chase spoke about the STEAM district and what that means, and it does include Lego robotics, and of course a number of new partnerships that our district is becoming involved in. Many of them at the school level you may want to mention. One at the college, higher ed level, we have a partnership with the College of New Rochelle right now that will be bringing certifications to our teachers free of tuition in areas of bilingual and teaching English as a second language. And well over 25 teachers of our district are interested in doing that. So there are partnerships of all varieties at all levels.
Right. We also have additional partnerships with White Plains Hospital. Just last week, 23 of our students had the opportunity to engage in robotic surgery, working with actual physicians and surgeons who are already in the field. We're developing a partnership with Phelps Hospital, where our younger students will have the similar opportunity and actually being in the surgery area,
right,
and actually having that experience. And this is what we want to give our children, the actual experience, the real world experience, and that's what we're committed to here at the Greenberg Central School District.
Also going on in Greenberg is different things with our facilities upgrades. In the fall of 2016, we actually went to the board and we had them approve a new burglar alarm system district-wide. There was no additional cost to the taxpayers. We had the board declare an emergency fire alarm project at the high school, and we're actually ahead of schedule, and we were about 70% complete on that. Last year, we went to State Ed with a press box that is being donated. We had to get approval from State Ed for plans and specs. We finally received approval for that, and it looks like we will be starting the foundation in March, weather permitting, of course. Last year, the voters approved repair reserve projects in the amount of $700,000. We anticipate receiving approval from State Ed, hopefully by the end of February, and look forward to moving along with that.
So, for the 2017-2018 school year, community, we have a very keen focus. First and foremost, our main priority is to maintain the safety and security of our students. And as Mrs. O'Neill indicated to you earlier, we're focused on enhancing our fire alarm system as well as installing new burglar alarm systems throughout the school district. We want to provide a global experience for all children, which is this year's theme. We are global learners. Dr. Valente will speak more about our initiatives and rather our anticipated initiatives in world languages, as well as giving children true global experiences. We want to strengthen school performance. That's our second priority here in the school district. Actually, it shares the priority of safety and security. We want to increase school performance. We know that our children have the ability to do extremely well. We recognize that when you set high expectations, students rise to those expectations. And so it is our goal here at the school district to optimize the learning. We're doing this through our PLCs, through our UDL opportunities, so that all students will have access to learning here in our school district. We want to strengthen student achievement. Dr. Valente has been very diligent in working with our school leadership and helping our principals as well as our teachers to examine data a little bit differently, being able to identify strengths and weaknesses of our students and capitalizing on those strengths and enhancing those weaknesses so that they're no longer weaknesses. We've put in place, through Dr. Valente's leadership, a Saturday Academy this year for our students, and next year is our desire to begin this Saturday Academy much earlier in the school year as well, so that we can improve student achievement. We developed a 5-year strategic plan with community members, with our board members, as well as our teaching and our administrative staff here in the school district, and we are committed to fulfilling the goals and the mission of our 5-year strategic plan. Please visit our website to see our goals, our 6 focus areas in terms of our strategic plan, and so that you will keep up with what we're doing, how we're doing, and when we plan to complete it. Impact direct classroom instruction, actually what I'm going to do is for the next 2 bullets, I'll have Dr. Valente elaborate on those areas.
Thank you, Dr. Chase. Well, as we mentioned with UDL, that gets down granular level to every teacher in every classroom and every lesson plan. We began that effort in September. We have dedicated all the conference days to that, as well as a number of early release days. And currently, our teachers are using sample lessons under UDL in order to implement that direct impact. Another observation, as you know, we use the Danielson framework to evaluate teachers. We now have a crosswalk between that and UDL, which will allow teachers to know exactly how to implement UDL for observational and evaluative purposes as well. The arts, athletics, and STEAM, we mentioned earlier, our commitment to all of those. With respect to STEAM, we are looking at an initiative perhaps as early as kindergarten where we gather STEAM scientists together and begin to look at a cohort of students who grow with the district and begin to look at integration of engineering and the arts into science and technology and math. And Todd Mensch is working with our PLCs and teachers on that effort. We'll maintain our current staff, definitely our current programs, but more importantly, we'd like to look at some innovative programs as we look toward next year.
So prior to starting the budget, we'd like to review some of the common language as we did last year. Now, the governor will say there's a tax cap out there of 2%, and that's not necessarily true. The tax cap is 2% or CPI, the lesser of the two. However, it's not a flat amount. There's exclusions that are taken into account. There's a whole calculation. So for this year, there are no retirement exclusions. This year, our growth factor actually increased from 1 up to 1.0068, which helps the district. The CPI actually went up from less than 1% to 1.26%. Our tax cap now is 1.8% for the 17-18 school year. That means that our tax levy can increase no more than roughly $1 million to remain under the tax cap. If we were to exceed the tax cap, we need 60% voter approval. We also talk about pilots. Pilots are payments in lieu of taxes. These are for businesses that are not on our tax rolls. However, we receive payments, tax payments from them. You'll also hear about RFPs or requests for proposals. Those are things that the district does in order to bring costs down. We do that to get the best prices that we possibly can for the taxpayers.
This is a short history of our enrollment as we look forward. And what we simply did was we took kindergarten, 137 students this year, and we carried that to first grade next year. So it was called the Cohort Survival model. And as you can see, our enrollment is going to increase by about 13 students for next year, which means two things. Number one, you maintain current staff, as we said earlier, you maintain current program, but from a more exciting point of view, what innovations will we be looking at?
So what's included in the budget and why are there increases? Of course, we're maintaining all of our current staff and programs. We have contractual salary increases for all staff in the district. We have health insurance increases. The one good thing about the employee benefits is while our health insurance increases, our employee retirement system, our retirement system rates have decreased, so that has kind of offset our health insurance increase. We have tax certiorieries that you'll see as an increase in our budget. We have in the budget, we have some new staffing that we would like to add. We have a teacher based on enrollment. We have a few foreign language teachers. We have a world language coordinator and another custodial worker. Would you like one? We also have increases in our operations and maintenance budget. This is due to utilities, requests from the individual buildings to have additional maintenance items performed next year. Dr. Chase and Dr. Valenti have mentioned STEAM, and we developed a new budget for the STEAM office. We have a new district-wide phys ed budget that we've never had before. That was always handled by the building. We have an increase in BOCES services, and again, that's really an estimate at this point until we get closer to the budget. We have an increase in our transfer to capital. Last year, you approved the $700,000 repair reserve. We did put some, we had some requests for some projects, so we put that into the budget as our transfer to capital. You'll see an increase in aided materials and equipment. And as Dr. Valeni mentioned, we were trying to do one-to-one Chromebooks for all. That's where the increase will show, as well as in equipment. So the money out of your budget goes, of course, salary and benefits is 69%. Transportation is roughly 8%. BOCES and supplies and equipment are 7%. You have tuition of about 1%. Your debt and your transfers are 4%, and your contractual is 11%. So draft 1 of your budget is 72.4 million. It represents a 10.4% increase from the current year budget, or a $6.8 million change. We would like to remind everybody this is our wish list. It includes everybody's requests from every building, every department. We know that as the next few weeks, those numbers will change. You'll see increases in the salaries. As I mentioned, we added some new staff. We had contractual salary items that we had to address. You'll notice an actual decrease in benefits. That's because our health insurance went up, but the retirement system costs have actually decreased. BOCES, again, as mentioned before, you'll see a little bit of an increase. However, the rates are tentative at this point. Transportation, again, you'll see an increase, but we don't have the final numbers for transportation yet. We have to wait for the CPI to come out to do the final calculation. I do anticipate that to go down. Aided materials, we mentioned the one-to-one Chromebooks. You'll see a large increase there. Let's see, and the debt and the transfers. You'll see a large $1.7 million increase in debt to transfers, and that is really capital projects that we'll be looking to do next year. We are currently working with our architect to come up with a detailed list of other projects that we may need, and look forward to discussing them at the next budget meeting. So the money comes from, the majority of it is, of course, school tax. It's 88%. 7% comes from state aid, and 1% is fund balance, and 4% is miscellaneous. Now, our state aid this year really isn't increasing from this year to next year. If you look at the governor's proposal, it actually shows a decrease. In reality, we do receive about $40,000 more in state aid from budget to budget. So here's draft 1 of your revenues for next year. As you can see, the majority of the increase is in your real property taxes, or your school tax, in the amount of 12%.
So to remain under the cap, we need to reduce expenses, or we can increase revenue by approximately $5.7 million. Now, community members, we want to be realistic. We know we're not going to increase revenues by $5.7 million. So we're going to need your help in helping us to narrow the budget down to an acceptable rate. Here's what we are thinking of doing thus far. We're thinking of reviewing current administrators' requests. As Mary indicated earlier, as Mrs. O'Neill indicated earlier, as well as Dr. Valente, this is viewed as a wish list. And we always ask our principals, our administrators at the beginning of the budget process, what would you like? We don't necessarily ask them to prioritize, but we ask them, what would you like? And so everyone gave us their wish list, and so their wish list is included in the budget. You will definitely be able to access a copy of the 2017-2018 school budget summary in 2 separate versions by going onto our website. We're also going to begin to prepare bids and RFPs earlier. We found last year that was very successful for us. We were able to have a savings of about how much, Mary, last year?
At least $100,000.
At least $100,000. And so again, another way of looking at savings. In addition, Dr. Valente and his team of educational warriors will be looking at our current instructional programs for their effectiveness to see which programs we'd like to sustain and which programs that we might need to enhance or which programs may serve our students better in the school district. We'll also look at the program costs to see which will actually benefit the district better. But we're going to need the community to give us some input as to what we need to look at again, what would you like to see in the budget, and then what we could possibly do without in the 2017-2018 school year. But I do want to just press upon one particular issue that both Dr. Valente and Mary O'Neill brought up. Mary O'Neill indicated that we will be increasing our instructional staff, and I just want to be clear. As we move into the 2017-2018 school year, just as we did with this current school year, we're going to have a keen focus on building global learners. We recognize that our students will need an opportunity to compete on a global scale. That being said, we're obligated to ensure that our students are prepared. Here's what we're looking at. We're looking at our foreign language programs, and we're looking to restructure our foreign language programs next year. And in that vein, we realize that we may need to increase staff in that particular area. There are a few strategies and structures in which we're looking at to make foreign language real in the school district so that by the time our students leave Woodlands High School on their way to college, that they would be fluent in 2 possible languages. But that fluency has to begin at the elementary level. We're also looking to enhance our IB program. And as Dr. Valente so eloquently explained to us earlier, our IB program is alive and well for K-8. But we also recognize that our students can have an opportunity to obtain an IB diploma moving forward. So we are in this exploratory phase in looking at what an IB diploma could possibly look like in a school district such as ours. So there are some enhancements that we're looking to bring to our school district for the 2017-2018 school year. But in order for that to happen, we will continue to need the community's support. Again, our focus will be on building global learners so that our children can truly have the global experience and so that they can compete on a global level. We know that in the next 10 years, there will be jobs that don't yet exist, and we want to make sure that our students, the Greenburgh Central School District students, are in the forefront to compete for those such jobs. So community, once again, any questions that you might have, any comments that you wish to make about this particular budget presentation, we welcome your questions and we welcome your comments. Please email us at budget201718@greenburghcsd.org. Once again, budget201718@greenburghcsd.org. Your questions and your comments will be addressed, and we will post them publicly for everyone to see, almost like a virtual meeting. Just as Dr. Valente alluded earlier, we are truly committed to being a universal design for learning school district. So we decided to take a traditional meeting and making it a virtual meeting, which is a UDL structure. And what we're hoping is that we can reach a wider range of our community, and we will receive a wider range of community response and questions, and so that everyone will have an input in creating the 2017-2018 school budget. Thank you so much for your attention, and we look forward to your questions and your comments. And please join us for our next budget meeting on February 28th, and that is Draft 2. And we hope to see reflections of your questions and your comments in Draft 2 of our school budget.